Welcome to Forked Up, your go-to podcast for all things boiling, broiling, and all-day toiling. I'm Michelle Davis.
And I'm Matt Holloway. Today we're talking counterfeit whiskey, 3D printing your dinner, and why the UK is having food shortages.
So stay tuned, y'all. It's about to get forked up.
What the fuck is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Forked Up.
Hello.
I like that I just start every episode just shouting at the audience.
I know, and I'm just like sitting over here like...
just waiting for it to be over.
Welcome to my world.
It's a good excitement. I'm not yelling at anybody. We're all having fun here.
I'm not yelling at anybody. I'm yelling at everybody.
Yeah. I'm yelling at all y'all. We do have some housekeeping things. Some of y'all woke up this last Saturday morning to our first newsletter that we have sent in 5-6 years.
Yeah, since the
like
Coastal Crawl for book 3.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. We created a Substack, and if y'all are not familiar with that, what it is essentially a traditional return to blogging.
Yeah, but it's like that combined with a newsletter.
Yeah. So if you subscribe to our Substack, which we have called The Boiler Room, and we'll be updating it weekly, you can email every Saturday morning in your inbox. We will break down the week in food news and
just like small links, like very digestible form. So like if you don't,
pun intended,
it's not going to take half a day to slog through. It'll be just news you can use. You'll get some recipes, information about what the fuck we're doing.
News you can use. She's on a roll, folks. Anyways, you can subscribe to our newsletter if you go to badmanners.substack.com, or if you go to our website, there's going to be a little splash as soon as you go there that says The Boiler Room. You just punch in your email and
you're in.
You'll get it every Saturday. There is a tier system. We have the newsletter for free, and you can get all those things. If you want to subscribe to the tier system and you pay $5 a month, you get things like secret recipes that don't go anywhere. They're not in any of the books.
That makes it sound like they don't go anywhere.
I was going to say anywhere else.
They don't. We will not publish them anywhere else. They are exclusively for our paid subscribers of the Boiler Room.
Yeah. They don't go anywhere. You don't get them.
Yeah, you don't get them. Nobody does.
Just give us $5. You don't need $5. Give us $5.
You'll also get like things like coupons to our merch.
We've got
cooking videos.
Merch discounts. We're going to have instructional videos for some of our recipes. But yeah, like I was trying to say, we'll have recipes that are exclusively for the Substack.
Yes.
And yeah.
But we're also going to have, little articles that we've wanted to write but really haven't had a platform to do so on.
She says articles. She means rants. They are extended rants. Anything that didn't make the podcast because we cut it for time or content, we will be punching up in the weekly newsletter.
But we'll also kind of be talking more about, I'll be talking about the business of grocery shopping and all of that kind of stuff. And Matt will be talking about photography. Mm-hmm. Particularly after you guys get your hands on book 4, you're really going to want to sign up and to hear all of Matt's tips because this one is a stunner.
I will break down kind of like how every single photo in book 4 was approached. I have a lot of behind the scenes shots about lighting setup. We use natural light. We use a bunch of different techniques. And I'm going to show you guys how to do this without a bunch of fancy equipment like I'm using. You can do this with your cell phone and a nearby window.
Yeah, and he'll do a compare and contrast.
Yeah.
So you guys want to sign up and become a paid subscriber to the Boiler Room. It's only $5 a month. We have yearly plans, and we also have a extra special support tier where we will be giving more stuff away. But check it out. Where was that again?
You can either go to badmanners.com and you'll get a little splash window that says sign up for the Boiler Room, or you can go to badmanners.substack.com to sign up.
Also, a reminder that you can watch all new episodes of Forked Up with us live on YouTube every Friday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 a.m. Mountain, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern.
Shout out to as this is airing right now, shout out to everyone over here that's watching it. It's right. It's to the left of me, I think. Okay. It's right over here. Somewhere over here.
Or maybe it's here.
It's here.
No, it's there.
Maria's probably over here somewhere.
Queen
Maria made the schedule.
Queen of the Podience. I kind of wanted that to be the episode name.
Maria, Queen of the Podience?
No, Maria made the schedule.
Yeah, Maria made the schedule. Deal with it.
Deal with it. Y'all should have said something.
Yeah. But yeah, y'all can watch this with us live every Friday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. What else? BraveNewMeal.com. Some of y'all haven't pre-ordered the book. Some of y'all have. Drops November 9th. And if you do not pre-order before November 9th, you do not get our ebook Vice House. And I will say there is a little confusion. We had some confusion last week. The confusion persists. I'm trying to be patient with you. I swear to God. The new confusion is some people are like, is Vice House essentially an extension of Brave New Meal? They are two separate things. Totally Brave different. New Meal is completely different vibe, completely different recipes. Vice House
totally different style of cooking too.
And photography.
Yeah.
We essentially wrote Brave New Meal, and to incentivize you guys to pre-order it, we wrote like another half cookbook, essentially. We made more work for ourselves.
Yes, yeah. But so it's its own beast.
They're very different. Yeah. So stop with those questions. Stop asking me where to get it. Stop asking me what's in it. Just fucking go. What is it, $20? Yeah. You got $20.
And it's not recipes that were like cut on the cutting room floor or anything.
Completely different.
Totally different vibe of food. So go get it. You're going to want it. I'm so proud of it.
So again, check out bravenewmeal.com, get your copy now, and then go download Vice House, and you can start cooking those recipes immediately. And with all that housekeeping out of the way, Michelle, what do we have on the menu this weekend?
So this weekend, we have our pumpkin chili, a oldie but a goodie. Longtime fan fave up on the site. You might be thinking, ew, what? Pumpkin and chili. Yeah, pumpkin, not pumpkin spice in a chili.
That's weird. But also, like, there's no pumpkin in your pumpkin spice.
Yeah, use your brain. Use your brain.
Y'all don't know what's in anything.
Yeah.
Just eat it. Who cares?
The pumpkin is, you can use canned pumpkin or roasted pumpkin, and we use it to sweeten and thicken the chili, but it still has beans. It still has all of that good chili powder that you love, everything about it. It is a hearty spoon standing up staple.
And we also have, actually, can we say this? We have the cinnamon rolls. Will they be ready?
Oh, yes. They will be ready. Okay. I've cooked them.
Assuming that they're ready. Here they are. They're gorgeous.
Yeah, the name is not finalized. I'm struggling with it because we have cardamom in the dough. Mm-hmm. We have instant coffee and walnuts in the filling, a little bit of almond extract. They are really delicious. And that's the Swedish pearl sugar on top, optional but delicious. And there's maple sugar in it. Like, I don't want to calling them cinnamon rolls.
It's a disservice to what they actually are.
Yes, they're double-sided.
And you did like a pretty roll. Yeah,
guys,
we were shooting this, and Michelle comes over and does like Salt Bay, like over the cinnamon rolls, bouncing it off her elbow. And I'm like, are you putting rock salt on cinnamon rolls? It's sugar. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So. And guys, his face was like, hold on, it's sugar? It's like, there's more kinds of sugar?
Like a maniac.
So you're going to want this recipe. Whatever we end up calling it, it will be up on social today, and it will be main paged on our website, so you'll be able to find it.
And those are two very solid recipes for y'all as the season changes. And we have another recipe that we cannot talk about yet, but it will be behind the Substack next week.
Yeah.
Not this coming week, but next week.
It will be behind the paywall on our Substack. Yeah.
We will this is how much content we're giving y'all because we love you. Recipes that will be behind the paywall on our Substack. Free recipes up on our site. That's never going to change. We will continue to post free recipes up on badmanners.com. And we have the new book coming out. There are just a ton we packed that thing with so many recipes. 2 years worth of recipes.
It is it has the most recipes in it to date. Yes.
Than we've ever done in any book. We have so much content coming for y'all. whether you choose to spend $0 or $25, because that's really all you got to spend.
Yeah,
$5 for the paywall and $20 for the book, and you get everything. But those 2 recipes are solid for the changing of the season, as it is getting a little cooler. And, the pumpkin chili, cinnamon rolls for breakfast, pumpkin chili for lunch or dinner.
As the cook in my life.
You can't prepare food for Michelle.
Yes.
It's impossible.
It's not impossible.
It's impossible.
But I do, 95% of my own cooking. This is the ideal cooking weather.
Right now?
Right now.
As it gets that crispness in the air.
Yeah, it's not so cold that I just want to be under blankets and by the heater or in front of a fireplace or anything like that. So I'm still okay to cook, but it's crisp enough in the air that I'm excited about the kitchen getting warm, not dreading it.
Yeah, we did 2 summers making Brave New Meal with that fucking oven on, and we don't have central air at our office.
Nope.
But we could if y'all subscribe to our Substack. $5 a month. Keep us a little cooler when we're in the kitchen.
Matt will walk all the way out of his way to not pass through the kitchen during the months of June, July, and August.
This is true. This is very true.
Because I have my hair in the most disgusting bun. I'm sweating, and he's like, what are you doing? I'm broiling. I'm deep frying.
You got some shout outs in the comments last week's episode. Some people were admiring your mermaid hair.
Oh, guys, that was the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me, that I have mermaid hair. Oh God, it's a mess. But
you look like a fucking mermaid today with your green dress.
Green. Y'all, I grew this hair myself. I'm super proud of it.
Mer people would be horrifying if it was reversed. If it was the
fish top,
and then the human below.
Yeah,
fuck that. The stuff of nightmares. No, we're not even doing our ideas this week. I just fuck that.
That is dangerously close to the parrot baby, which someone drew for us.
There, we got it. Here.
See, it was drawn for us. Lindsay drew it.
Horrific.
It's the stuff of nightmares. I'm super proud of it. Super proud of Lindsay's work. And if Maria ever needs to retire, Lindsay.
If Maria's out sick, Lindsay's on deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but Lindsay included Radabumi in that illustration, which I appreciate. Thanks, Lindsay. Appreciate the submission.
What's been going on with you, Matt? Anything new?
I got nothing to talk about. I just want to get into Talkbuster video. That's it. This is my favorite segment.
You're just biding your time.
Yeah, it's my favorite segment we do on the podcast. That might just become the majority of our show from now on. It's just food videos, and we just talk about them. I don't know.
Yeah, Matt.
You know what?
When we got the cut last week from Caitlin to watch, I hadn't even watched it yet. I was cleaning my house or something, and Matt texts me, he goes, "This is the best
segment.
This is the best segment we've ever done."
It was, even though I'd seen the videos.
And I could hear your voice in the text message. I was like, good God.
Yeah. So I know it's good. I had seen the videos. I knew it was coming, and I was still sitting alone in my apartment fucking cackling.
Oh, that's so
It was
funny.
good. Yeah, there was one thing that I wanted to talk about is companies now, because everyone is having such a tough time finding employees, fast food companies, companies like Amazon, they are asking the federal government to legalize marijuana, or at the very least, they themselves are stopping drug tests for new hires because it is so tough to find people.
Long time coming.
Long fucking time coming. And I don't know. Drugs won. And the war on drugs won.
I mean, I'll say this. Whole Foods, when I worked there, was one of the few national grocery chains that did not drug test.
I wonder if they changed that when they got acquired by Amazon. Probably not.
I don't know. But I will say it made it a cool ass environment to work in.
Yeah.
It was a lot, especially back in the day, long before it became, the corporate overlord that it is now. You got some cool ass kids working at that grocery store.
I want to know how these massive corporations that they ask, low wage workers to work these nonsense hours, to work for fucking no pay, to have no health care, to have like very little, if any, incentives.
No personal lives, total availability to the corporation.
And then you want us to not do drugs? And now you're going to the federal government being like, let them do drugs.
Yeah,
we're not gonna pay them more. We're not gonna give them health care. Let them fucking do drugs.
But they won't stop doing drugs.
Yeah. We can't hire anybody because everyone's on drugs.
What I don't understand is why we haven't been drug testing for things like stockbrokers, people, investment bankers,
Totally.
all those people, doctors, lawyers, trial judges.
In 2008.
Supreme Court justices. I want the president drug tested. I want all members of Congress drug tested. Like, I want to know. I don't give a shit what John at Wendy's is doing. Let the man live.
Let him do some drugs.
Okay. But you know what? If Mitch McConnell is all fucked up on coke, standing there giving some dissenting nonsense speech, I want to know.
I think in 2008, when these fucks tanked the economy, at least then the most recent time, not the first, nor will it be the last, because they have done it since then. We should have wrangled all of them up and had them do hair follicle tests.
Yes.
And if they failed,
yeah,
I don't know. Nobody went to fucking jail over that.
Sir, you are 45% below.
None of these fucking stockbrokers.
Kinds of numbers before,
none of them would pass. None of them. Bankers, brokers, fucking real estate people. Nah. Yeah. So yeah, if somebody works in a drive-thru and they want to fucking get high, let them do it, especially if it's on their own time.
Let
I don't
the
understand.
Nice old lady at Macy's, Mary behind the china counter, let her smoke a doobie.
Yeah.
Let her live.
Why is it that it's like you can get fucked up off like perks, you can like drink, you can do pretty much everything. It's just weed. Yeah. End it. But yeah, that was the only thing I wanted to talk about in my check-in. It's just the war on drugs is so fucking antiquated, and it should be ancient history by now.
Well, speaking of ancient history, let's get into some food history.
Fuck yeah, let's get into food history.
It is now time for This Week in Food History.
This some serious gourmet shit.
I know that audio clip of Samuel Jackson eating a Big Kahuna burger.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's fictional, but that did look like a good burger. Not gonna lie. Hollywood magic. Making a film burger look good.
Was that a tweet you sent out a while back? Like, what was your favorite movie food that always looked like super good?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, that was, yeah. I was high as shit when I sent that.
It's like, do you remember Hook when all the paint food turns into real food?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was a meal I was always pretty stoked to see. Anyway, welcome to Food History. I'm Michelle Davis. So to continue our season of seasonings, I thought we would talk about celery seed. We have a recipe for our celery seed slaw up on our site, which we talked about pretty recently over Labor Day weekend. And I love celery seed. It's in all of our books. I use it all the time. Up until researching for this segment, I had not given any thought to where the fuck it comes from. Like,
I don't know shit about celery seed.
Yeah.
Y'all?
Yeah.
Don't lie. Y'all don't know anything about celery seed.
I've never.
Go to your spice cabinet. You don't even have it right now.
I had
Promise.
never even seen seeds on celery. I couldn't imagine where they came from. So apparently, celery seed doesn't actually come from the same type of celery that we eat. Dun, dun, dun. There's more than one kind of celery.
Who knew?
Not me. So the seeds we eat are actually from a plant called smallage, sometimes called wild celery, which is this marshy plant. And the seeds that we eat are actually the fruit of that plant.
So celery and celery seed, two completely different things.
Two completely different things, and not a seed, a fruit, a dried fruit. So who knew? Not me.
We're learning today.
We're learning. So all the kinds of celery that exist are typically descendants from smallage, but there are two additional types of celery that we eat. So there's stalk celery, which, as you guys can imagine, is the one with all the stalks that you put the peanut butter on. You make little ants on the log, the whole to-do. And the other one is celery, which we buy here in the U.S. as celery root.
Mm.
So apparently there's a shit ton of kinds of celery, and they're all fucking different. But wild celery, the one that they're all descended from, is native to the Mediterranean basin, and archaeological remains suggest that humans have been carrying around celery seeds as early as 4000 BC, and we're just like scattering them around. Smallage, the plant that they were all descended from, again, was present in China as early as the 5th century, where it is still common as like a wild plant. People in ancient Egypt, Rome, India, and China used this wild plant medicinally to treat all kinds of things like stomach aches, cold, the flu, water retention, poor digestion, farts, like everything.
People are going to be, yeah. Back in the day, people would just ingest stuff like how we're trying to get rid of COVID now.
Yeah.
They just be taking anything they found off the ground. That's going to be the next thing is people get off ivermectin and then they just they're snorting celery seed. We've broke Michelle.
Guys, okay, I'm going to tell a small aside. Is it okay if I tell
Yeah, go ahead. It's your segment.
Okay, so I'm to interrupt myself. I've been having some kind of thing going on with my skin for the past couple of months. I've been breaking out in this super weird way. I finally got into the dermatologist last week, and apparently I am allergic to these mites that live on all of our faces, and that's what's causing me to break out. It's kind of what rosacea is.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the funny part. That's the sad part. The funny part is that I was prescribed ivermectin.
Oh, shit. You got Joe Rogan fucked up.
Not to swallow, topically, to put on my skin to kill the bugs. But my insurance kept rejecting it.
Because
the pharmacy
they're
had
like,
to keep calling.
they're like, we know what she's doing. She said she was vaxxed. We know why she wants that horse paste.
It was a hilarious low point. I think I texted you. Like, I was just like, bro.
You did. Michelle sent me a photo of her prescription. I was like, what are you doing? Don't be drinking bleach.
But anyway, so I got that ivermectin. Don't be jealous.
And then like YouTube is gonna flag this fucking video because we said COVID and we said ivermectin.
But anyway, I almost have my glow back.
I said this when the horse thing, like I think I tweeted this out when everyone started taking ivermectin. The same people who use the term like sheeple, like all the time, are like the Venn diagram. It's a perfect circle of those very same people that are now taking medicine that's for like horses and farm animals.
And my face.
It is the stupidest fucking timeline that we live in. Anyways, back to celery seed and food history.
Back to celery seed. So the Greeks and the Romans actually used wild celery leaves to make those kind of victory crowns for athletes that we're used to seeing made out of laurel.
Oh, really? That's celery flowers? Or
celery leaves. Yeah,
Huh.
the Egyptians did it too. In fact,
I don't know why I thought they were like olive branches.
people
like,
have thought they were olive. There are more typically laurel and celery. So the more you know. In fact, archaeologists discovered a celery wreath in Tutankhamun's tomb. So celery and celery seed, they do not come from the same plant. The celery seed's actually a fruit, and Americans eat a shit ton of celery now. The more you know.
Well, speaking of greens, I've got a recall.
Have you brought any fruits or vegetables onto the planet?
Welcome to Recall.
Get ready for a surprise!
This week, Kroger grocery stores have issued a recall of kale, both bag and loose. If you're getting your loosies at Kroger. What do you call it? I didn't know what to call it. They were like
Bunched?
Bunched kale. We got it. We fixed it.
Loose.
Loosies of kale are getting recalled.
Can you just imagine somebody walking to like the checkout with just hands full of leaves of kale?
Someone goes up to checkout and they just got like 1 or 2 leaves. They're like, I just need this. Like, that's all I need. I don't need a bunch. Just one or two from our ride home.
Got this bunny in the car.
Anyways, the bagged and bunched kale that is sold at Kroger in its stores across 11 states is being recalled due to listeria contamination. The outbreak was identified when a customer complained.
This has listeria.
How did they know? As y'all know of last week's episode, there's no way to tell that something that has listeria in it.
I like that they just said a customer
You
complained.
could be roommates with listeria and you wouldn't know it.
You would
never know.
You would never know.
They probably got sick, I imagine.
Yeah, but way to like.
Yeah. But yeah, they got a customer complaint and Kroger announced that the kale had tested positive for listeria, which forced a recall from their supplier. The cause of the outbreak is unknown, but as we have discussed in the past, it is probably from contaminated wastewater. Animal agriculture is a big problem with
creating
fruits,
poo runoff.
Fruits and veggies getting listeria. They don't just get
Salmonella, all of it.
That is from
From animals. That's from poop.
Yeah. You can find more details on the FDA's website. But with that out of the way, let's talk about black market whiskey.
Ooh. Is it a caper?
I don't have a caper. It is just here. Let me get into the details. Okay.
I got excited.
So Buffalo Trace Distillery out of Kentucky has issued a public statement warning consumers not to be duped into buying counterfeit whiskey. Customers have been complaining to the distillery that they've purchased bottles online, but they either never received their order, or when they did receive their order, it was an empty bottle. Which is somehow worse.
That is so disrespectful.
Somehow.
They're like, hey, at one point there was whiskey. It's not even that we're
But
selling
fuck
you
you.
something we never had.
Yeah.
We had it. We drank it. We sent you nothing.
And it goes in to describe like one of their, I forget the brand, but I'm sure you've all seen it. The whiskey bottle has like a man riding a horse and it's on the top. It's like
yeah.
Yeah, and that's like made out of metal or like aluminum. And the people who were getting empty bottles, that was like a plastic little recreation kind of thing.
Huh.
Wouldn't that be great if they're just sending empty bottles with like Monopoly pieces? You get a fucking hat on top of your whiskey bottle.
What if there's just like empty? A note inside of it and it's like a threat?
Yeah.
Don't buy from me again.
Yeah. Don't look for me.
Okay.
So this apparently is a rampant problem with online sales and social media profiles. Buffalo Trace says that they don't sell any whiskey online, and I don't think that any spirit manufacturer can do that because I think there's only like 6 states in the U.S. that you can sell from the manufacturer direct to consumer.
Oh, yeah. It's all those
like,
old laws from Prohibition.
Yeah, it's like 44 states it's illegal. So if you're buying liquor online and it's getting delivered to you, there's something hokey going on.
Or just, make sure you're using a reputable
seller. That's what they were saying. They don't sell any of their whiskey online because most states prohibit direct-to-consumer sales. They have been successful in taking down some of these social media accounts, but every time they take one down, more pop up. So this is kind
it's like us taking down fake books on Amazon.
It's like whack-a-mole. Yeah, I don't know how many fucking counterfeit books of ours there are. And what's weird is like some of them list us as the author.
Like we're not gonna find it.
Come on, dude. Come on.
Anyway,
I'm tired of spending fucking legal fees on like cookbook whack-a-mole.
It's so stupid.
But like I was thinking how quickly we have grown accustomed, especially with everything that's happened in the last couple of years, to like delivery and online culture. Like it's nothing for you to get in your car and just go down to the liquor store.
Yeah, like
what? How much can you really be saving? Like if you see, if it's a nice bottle of something and the liquor store is selling it for like $50 or $60, and you see it online for half that, if it's too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah, you're probably gonna get an empty bottle with a death threat
You're gonna get a fucking Monopoly piece on top of that bottle. Yeah, you're getting the hat, the thumbnail.
The thumbnail? You mean the
thumbtack?
The
thimble? I don't know. I've broken Michelle with my stupid words.
Toenail clipping, Matt. Just what are you talking about?
They give you an empty liquor bottle, and and there's a fucking toenail clipper on top.
Oh, that's so
Kinda brilliant.
stupid.
Yeah.
Oh my god, is that going to be one of our gifts for the paid subscribers of Broiler Room?
What? Yeah,
We'll just send out themed empty liquor bottles.
empty
that we
liquor
emptied.
bottles with toenail clippers super glued to the top of them. Yeah.
Just for you.
For $5 a month, we'll send you some trash. We gotta pay for Michelle's ivermectin subscription.
Guys, my face is not getting COVID.
Now that we're in a good headspace, let's get into Talkbuster video. I don't know what the transition looks like yet. There we go. So I have carefully curated this week's Talkbuster video. I'm excited to share with y'all. I'm excited to share with Michelle.
For the very first time.
This is our second time doing Talkbuster video. It is my new favorite segment. This might just kind of become the entire podcast.
I do have one. Video.
Michelle has one submission. I have not seen it. The goal of this is to be sharing this in real time to get genuine reactions from each other. Yeah, it's the audience seem to love it. So yeah, let's let it rip.
Hey, let's take the fifth wheel through the drive-thru.
What the fuck?
So for the listeners who are not watching this with us, there is a
Truck.
There is a large truck that is forcing its trailer
It's large, like motorhomey trailer.
through a drive-through, doing tens of thousands of dollars of damage.
Wow. No, and they keep doing it. They've
Look
stuck
at all
it
that
now.
smoke.
Yeah, now it's smoking. It's like right at the curve of the drive-through, and it's hitting the overhang, and then just absolutely.
And this is being
ruining
filmed.
It.
It's being filmed by
Somebody in the
a
parking
car
lot.
on who looks like they're on the freeway. Now, that video was fantastic, but let's see it from a different angle.
Ooh. Oh, it's a Dairy Queen.
This is dude's first date with Dairy Queen. Look at this fucking truck. Damn.
The propane tank.
Oh, that's so dangerous.
What the? I want to see this person. They're alone. Are there people
Dude.
in? Does that mean there are people in the trailer? Does that mean there are people in that trailer?
Damn.
Do you know what I love? Is that was to say you go through a drive-through to save time, right?
Dude,
That man.
this person, it is a man. It's for sure a man.
It's a man.
I'm playing that again. Dude, look at how much damage. Jesus fucking Christ.
Okay, but what are the chances that there is somebody in that goddamn trailer? That man is driving that truck alone.
I don't think you can have people in a trailer when it's in tow.
Well, I know you can't.
Dude, that propane tank falls out. Like how
It's in Colorado?
that looks like Utah plates. A lot to unpack in this video. Number one, how bad do you need to get to that drive-through with a massive trailer that you know is not going to fit? Again, with our like instant like culture of like I need it now and I need it brought to me, just park the the parking lot I'm sure is empty. Just park the fucking trailer in your truck and just walk inside.
And get an ice cream by
It's
yourself
the middle of the, it's not
as a man.
It's not 2 a.m. Yeah. You need that Frosty. So what is it that they do? It's not the Frosty.
Well, okay, they have the dip cones.
The Blizzard. It's
and
the Blizzard.
Blizzards. I mean,
That motherfucker is doing tens of thousands of dollars worth of damage, not only to their truck, their trailer, and the Dairy Queen drive-thru that's caught on camera by multiple witnesses because they need a Blizzard right now.
what happens if they didn't have the money for a Blizzard? They're just going to get a dip cone.
What else does Dairy Queen have that somebody could like just be plowing through a fucking drive-thru?
Their frozen hot chocolate is fucking bomb. I know that sounds confusing.
I don't know if it's worth the damage.
It's really good. I miss
That was a
it
lot
every
of fucking
day.
damage. That's a lot of damage.
All right, what else you got?
All right. Moving right along to the next video. There we go.
Okay, we're on some kind of commuter train. We're filming the ground as people enter. And a pigeon is exiting.
There we go.
He exited with confidence.
It's the bunny hop for me. You got wings. He could fly. First of all,
He
so for
doesn't
the
need train technology in any way.
for the listeners,
Yeah.
Michelle, what just happened?
So we're on a commuter train where the doors open
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of filming the feet of people exiting and getting on the train.
Mm-hmm.
And you see a man come on the train and then you see a pigeon interview, get right up to the door and pigeon hops across to the cement station.
Birds. They're just like us.
Honestly, I fucking love pigeons. I know they're disgusting sky rats, but they're hilarious.
Pigeons are actually doves.
Yeah, they're just
Yeah.
dirty doves.
Yeah, they're dirty doves. They're city
But
doves.
again, if you remember reading Lost Feast from a couple seasons ago, we interviewed the author. The pigeons that we see all across this country are not native to North America.
That
Those
was
are
a fascinating interview. I think our real hard hitter of a question where are all the baby pigeons?
Yeah.
Why don't I ever see baby pigeons in my city?
she answers it, and y'all, yeah, it was a great interview. If you've never read that book, go read it or listen to the audiobook. All right, what's next, Matt?
All right. Next video on deck.
He licked his fingers.
He did not flinch once.
Okay, so that was security footage of like an outdoor dining area, pretty close up on a couple, and you see a guy walk in a frame with a motorcycle helmet on, and you can't see what he's doing at first, and then it becomes clear only because you see his gun.
He's robbing the rest. He's robbing everybody.
He's robbing everybody, but one guy just keeps going on his nachos. The guy closest to the gun, looking at him, you can't tell anything is happening.
The guy. Well, it's like a couple of people realize what's happening.
Yeah, and they bounce.
They immediately leave the restaurant.
Yeah, there's
smart move.
Yeah.
Man in the booth with his partner.
Yeah, got his wallet out, but keeps, is that a chicken wing?
They're edging for their exit because
Yeah.
he's like, we got to get the fuck out of here. But he's also afraid, like, if we make any sudden moves.
You draw attention.
Yeah.
But this guy is going ham on a
No.
chicken wing unbothered.
My man in the sweatshirt is just casually hands it to him behind his head. There's his cell phone. There's the wallet. Yeah. He keeps his cool.
Not just keeps his cool, he keeps eating.
Yeah. And in that moment, I got to wonder if he's just like, this might be my last meal. I'm going to enjoy this shit.
This reminds me
These are my favorite chicken wings.
of my friend Heather, who was on a date, and she and this guy were having wine, and there was two cars like started shooting at each other in the street. This is LA. And so everybody in the restaurant got under the tables, and when she was under the table, the guy was like, you brought your wine? She had a glass of wine, and she
Atta girl, Heather.
she was still drinking her fucking wine
Yeah.
like a boss.
She had almost the same composure. This dude is like, I'm going to do me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still out here drinking wine.
Yeah.
All right, guys, this is time for my video. This is an actual commercial from Germany in the 1980s. Thank you very much.
A Ninja Turtle.
Walking into a men's locker room.
A Raphael. Uh-oh. That was good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was a pickle commercial where the pickle is supposed to also be a Ninja Turtles penis.
Raphael walks into a locker room,
An off-brand Raphael.
throws a couple of punches and a high kick, disrobes, and we cut to
He takes off his towel. Turtle hand.
a jar of very textured pickles.
Sour gherkins.
Yeah. So that was good.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. I got one more for us.
Forklift and some sort of shipping. Oh no.
What do you think that is? So it's a bunch of red.
Are they cherry tomatoes?
It's like a flood of red.
It looks like it was on purpose by how much there is.
Just wait.
Are you guys is ketchup, tomato sauce for spaghetti sauce? All that shit is right here on the floor right now.
Yep.
And they're all popping. So I guess you guys ain't gonna have ketchup. No spaghetti sauce.
Oh, so it's like all canned stewed tomatoes or something?
Dude, look at those boxes. They're leaning over. And you can tell the ones that are blowing up.
Yeah.
Damn, look at that. Shit.
I wonder why. Oh, that's so expensive.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's a huge waste of
Look at
food
them.
and
Look at them.
resources and
They're
everything.
busting out of the boxes.
Is this in Long Beach?
I don't know.
It looks like just a major dock.
It might
port
be in
city.
Long
yeah.
Beach. Those mountains in the
no.
background, I don't know.
No, maybe it's Inland Empire.
Look at all that. Damn. It's thick, too.
Yeah, it looks like stewed tomatoes, like it's the base for all that stuff. Oh, shit.
And it just keeps going. There's no end to it. Damn. And the boxes are just tilted over.
Look at all that shit.
Oh, dude.
Oh, my God. That's a...
You could hear them popping.
That's a multi-million-dollar problem.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look at them pouring out of the boxes.
Whew. Whew. Oh, God. That's going to start to smell so bad,
Yeah,
too.
it's gonna be rank pretty much right away.
Oh,
And
give
this is,
give those dock workers and Teamsters and everybody quadruple time.
Yeah. This is what we were talking about. That there was a ketchup shortage, and this is not gonna help.
It's not helping.
I believe that was posted on TikTok 3 weeks ago, so fairly recent. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So just wait till that gets to the supply line. That was horrific.
We're fucked.
Yeah.
Well, another great segment, Matt.
Thanks. I don't know. That Talkbuster video. That might just be. That's the podcast now. We're gonna talk about videos. But yeah, if you guys see some silly ass food video, y'all can send it to us on any platform. You can tag us in it. You can also email us at fu@badmanners.com. Yeah, I don't know. We'll talk about it. It doesn't have to be food related. We prefer it to be, but you know.
Sorry, I already
whatever
took
you got.
the Ninja Turtle penis one that everyone wanted to send.
Yeah, whatever you got. What do you think of all the Ninja Turtles? Like, who had the shortest Ninja Turtle penis?
Leonardo.
Because he was a leader?
Yeah.
He was like overcompensating?
And he was like such a goody-goody.
I would think it'd be Raphael.
Had the smallest
Mm-hmm.
penis?
Yeah, because he was so like, he was always like on edge, you know? Like he was always fucking, yeah. That's like little,
maybe
that's
they
little
none
dick
of
energy.
them. Maybe.
And then also like, what are we talking in size here? Like,
But they don't normally wear pants, so that's why
Wouldn't-
having the
wouldn't we
towel
see-
around your waist.
yeah, doesn't make any sense.
Well, first of all, I don't know what turtle genitalia look like. Do they just have a cloaca like birds? I don't know.
Yeah, the Ninja Turtles were just like Donald Duck in it. They're like just no pants.
No,
So we
they-
should have seen. We should have seen all of their gherkins.
And on to some actual food news, non-Ninja Turtle penis related. Last month, Nature Communications published a study where scientists from Osaka University in Japan bioprinted wagyu beef, an expensive cut prized for its tenderness, flavor, and marbling. That's right, they're printing meat. Bioprinting uses a computer-generated model that deposits layer of material to create a final 3D project, just like regular 3D printing. But 3D bioprinting actually stacks living cells to build complex structures like blood vessels and muscle tissue. Think the beginning of Westworld.
Yeah, it's kind of what I had in mind.
Yeah, exactly. The scientists used 2 types of stem cells from specific breeds of cows and then manipulated them so they could coax them into all the different types of cells that they needed to culture this meat. And the individual fibers of muscle, fat, and blood vessels were bioprinted in layers to replicate the perfect cut of beef. Yeah. So, quote, using historical structure of Wagyu beef as the blueprint, we have developed a 3D printing method that can produce tailor-made complex structures like muscle fibers, fat, and blood vessels, said the study's co-author. Okay. That's cool, right? Like they basically made a clone.
I like that they're like, it needs to be real. It needs to have like that veiny.
Yeah, that
like,
real big dick meat cut energy.
Big old throbbing vein. I like when people don't like seeing veins in like their chicken breasts or something like that.
They're like, hey, don't remind me it was alive.
Where the fuck do you think it comes from? It was alive.
Grow up. Okay, so they basically made a clone of this meat cut, but nobody has fucking tasted it.
They didn't taste it?
Nobody
What's the point?
has tasted. Great question, Matt. That
I'm
is
full of great questions.
Yeah. So why nobody was allowed to eat it is totally confusing to me. But every single article I read made it seem like this was an impossible thing to even suggest. Maybe it wasn't like kept at food safe temperatures or something. I have no idea. But what is the fucking point if we aren't creating this shit for taste? Like they might as well have painted a painting.
Yeah, it might be
for all its use.
Bland.
Or it might just, how often do you make something and then you go to cook it and it fucking falls apart?
Yeah.
They could have soufflé this. I have no idea. Why are they doing this if not to try it? Like, maybe just cook it. Don't even taste it then. They didn't even fucking cook it.
Science, what are y'all doing?
What are y'all doing?
Figure it out.
Get your shit together.
Well, and if they're not even going to try to taste it to figure out if this is like viable for the market, if they're not going to cook it, because like you said, it might fall the fuck apart. What is the point? Like this is, look, it's fascinating for sure, but this is years away from like market viability. We're not going to see this in the grocery store anytime soon.
Yeah,
so,
we're not going to be printing new hands for people anytime soon either.
Yeah, so y'all should get used to vegetables. And our friends in the UK are going to have to get comfortable with vegetables sooner than later because they are preparing for food shortages for a combination of reasons. The first reason being a shortage of carbon dioxide, which food manufacturers use for things like beer, ciders, sodas, obviously, but they also use CO2 for pork production. Now, you might be asking, what does carbon dioxide have anything to do with pork production, which I also had to ask.
I don't want to know the answer.
You see, pigs don't walk in a single file line like cattle do. So what they have to do is they have to wrangle the pigs into what's called a gondola. And then a gondola gets lowered into a pit. And the air mixture in that pit is 80 to 90% carbon dioxide, which renders the pigs unconscious for what happens next. Now, I'm being very conservative with my language here.
Which we all appreciate.
Because it is a fucking bummer. But what I'm trying to make clear here is that CO2 is a big part of pork production. And that includes storing the meat in vacuum sealed packaging for consumers. The CEO of British Meat Processors Association, Nick Allen, warns that once they run out of CO2, slaughterhouses are going to have to stop taking pigs, which will put a bottleneck output at farms. He says, quote, "The pig industry is now facing the imminent prospect of a humane cull on farms."
Oh, that's a euphemism.
Again, I'm going to stop there because the details only get darker. I don't ever think that the words humane and cull should ever be next to each other.
Yeah, no shit. It's a nonsense phrase.
Just know that in the UK, any pork products, byproducts, pork fat, etc., will essentially stop in the recent future. And that might be good news in the short term, but it doesn't address the very real problem of preventable waste and animal cruelty that it took to get to stopping this pig production. CO2 is also necessary for medical procedures, nuclear energy, and semiconductor production. So this is a serious problem that goes beyond bacon. And another reason that the UK is going to experience some food shortages is that they are lacking truck drivers. Last month, the UK shot itself in the foot when it declined to issue temporary visas for drivers hauling goods between the EU and the UK. Now, the reasoning behind this is that they're trying to get businesses to invest into the UK, which would give these drivers higher paid jobs. This creates a really serious logistical problem as fast food chains and grocery stores are facing food disruption as suppliers struggle to deliver goods to them. And to make matters worse, with the holiday season rapidly approaching, authorities don't think that there will be any resolution before the new year.
You really fucked up on that Brexit.
How's that Brexit tasting?
How does xenophobia go down?
Yeah.
I'm sorry for most of the country that didn't vote for that.
Yeah.
It was so close. It was disturbingly close.
Here in America, like we got our own fucking problems.
We have no room to talk.
But, you know, with things like meat and dairy coming into short supply, it might be a good time to, I don't know, try some plant-based options.
Wow.
You might like something.
Researchers out of Carnegie Mellon are working to make our groceries take up less space so they could take fewer trucks to deliver all these groceries.
Fewer drivers.
Fewer drivers. So they have created a pasta that looks flat, but plumps up into all kinds of shapes once you start boiling it. At first I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, it just sounds like a fucking gimmick. But actually, the paper published in Science Advances over the summer, the researchers show that the pasta both uses less packaging, it has a much smaller carbon footprint, and it cooks faster than traditional pasta. So there is a lot of utility to it.
Scientists are like, it's a grower, not a shower. Here, you know what? I'll develop it. I'm going to show you. Just don't. Yeah.
I will show you. And if you start thinking about how much pasta this world consumes, how much pasta I buy specifically, like the reduction in waste is no small thing.
Yeah. I mean, shit. That clip that I played a little while ago with all those tomatoes, think about how many tomatoes go into just pizza sauce every day and how many pizzas get sold every day. Like, think about things like that. Think about pasta that gets consumed every day. Like
chicken wings.
The moment that there is just the smallest blip in production, it fucks everything up.
Yep. But this actually wasn't what the team was setting out to research. In 2017, Dr. Lining Yao, a mechanical engineer at Carnegie Mellon and one of the co-authors of this study, her and her colleagues actually set out to pattern and build two-dimensional structures that could transform themselves into 3D shapes. And they were trying to figure out, like, okay, what's the practicality? Like, how can we see these things? And quote, we were thinking an edible material could be very interesting, Dr. Yao said. And we landed our eye on pasta, not only because it's simple and ubiquitous, but it has the added bonus of being very rich in shape design. Yeah, so most commercial pastas, if you don't know, are made by extruding pasta dough through a series of plates to make the different shapes, kind of like those old Play-Doh play places.
Yeah, all that, the textures, shape, all that shit's added. Like, yeah. All pasta is more or less the same.
Yeah, it's like just pushing, if you did like dough through a garlic press or something like that, you're just squirting things out different shapes. But Dr. Yao's team began with that same kind of dough, and then they used a classic pasta roller to just roll it out into sheets. And then, like, that's super normal so far, nothing weird so far. But then they strategically stamped the flattened dough to create these tiny pattern grooves on the surfaces. And during cooking, the surfaces with the grooves expand less than the smooth ones, giving rise to shapes like boxes, saddles, and waves. And they used a computer model to predict the final transformations of the various designs based on factors, including how heat and water can transform the dough's gluten and starch during the cooking process. It's more complex than just swelling, one of the scientists said. But these kind of innovations, even though they sound a little silly, especially when they talk about swelling, These innovations can help with real world problems, like global hunger, feeding people in disaster sites, and space travel, where like all of those things.
The packaging alone.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It's the transportation of those goods. Like you want those goods to take up as little room as possible. And flat pasta has a huge fucking advantage. Researchers also suggested in the paper that their work could have applications for soft robotics and for biomedical devices. And unlike those wagyu fucks, these scientists have all eaten the pasta.
What is wrong with the scientists that did the 3D printing meat? I don't get that. Why not try it? I would be the first one to be like, let me eat it.
How is that not the next thing you say? Yeah, so a small group of the people who worked on the research went on a camping trip together, and they took it to cook while they were backpacking. And Dr. Yao served the pasta at a dinner party, and she said it was a hit.
Pasta scientists are just more chill and a good time than fucking Wagyu beef scientists. That's all the takeaway is. Wagyu beef scientists, they print it and they're like, throw it in the trash. We're done here. Whereas the pasta scientists are like, let's go camping.
Yeah, let's have some friends over.
Yeah.
They have friends. Maybe that's all the difference.
Man, the ramen industry is going to be pissed.
Shaking in its packets.
Yeah. It's going to be heartbreaking to lose that Justin Timberlake texture in our ramen noodles. His hair. Y'all remember that? From the
early aughts?
What was that, the 90s?
Late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah. Even at the time, I was like, that looks like ramen.
There was also like a heyday for ramen.
Oh, yeah, for
Coincidence?
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, well, that's enough silly shit. Let's fucking wrap out the show. That is the show for this week. Shout out to our producer, Caitlin Cleveland, who makes sure that this podcast is in y'all's feed and available for y'all to watch every week on YouTube. And shout out to our audience. Thank you for tuning in every week. And don't forget to pre-order Brave New Meal and download your free copy of Vice House at bravenewmeal.com. Do it now, because I swear to God, when the book comes out, that shit is disappearing at midnight off the internet forever. I don't want to hear it.
Also, shout out to Kyria, my girlfriend. Happy fucking birthday. I know you watch this shit.
Happy birthday, Kyria.
Happy birthday. Also, please subscribe to our Substack, not Kyria, all of you. You just go to badmanners.substack.com or go to our website. A window will pop up, and we would love for you guys to become subscribers on there, because we want to share all of our new recipes and all of our extra silly shit with you on our Substack, The Broiler Room.
If we are not force feeding you enough content every week, go get our Substack. I promise you will get your fill. You
can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest at Bad Manners Food.
And all the recipes mentioned in this episode, including our cinnamon rolls, named TBD, and our pumpkin chili, are available at badmanners.com.
Stay hungry, keep cooking, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye.